Hello everyone, my name is Barite. Thank you for coming, we really appreciate it. I'm gonna try to speak louder, I guess some people are not hearing me. Hello everyone, my name is Barite. Thank you for coming, we really appreciate it, for taking time from your busiest schedule to attend our event. This means so much to us, thank you so much. Like I said, my name is Barite. I'm gonna be introducing our next speaker. Can you guys hear me back there? I'm going to be introducing our next speaker, who is Jeff Sarton, a minister at Plymouth Congress Church, where he has been serving since 2001. He has community service, developing affordable housing. He has also served in many board of directory, Western Ministry Counseling Center. And also he is greatest Minneapolis Center of Church. He has led anti-racism effort Plymouth Church, and he has also been a leader in advocacy for GLBT Community Center. Jeff lives in St. Paul. Now he's newly engaged with us, helping with Voice Oromo with United Voice Oromo. Please, ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome Jeff.
It's good to be here with all of you, and I'm understanding there's trouble hearing in the back. Is that still true? Now you can hear more? Wow. Okay, it feels really loud here, so I apologize if you can't hear back there. So it is a pleasure to be here today. Thank you again all for coming. And my role will be to moderate this panel of guests that we have here today. Plymouth Church, just down Franklin Avenue, has long been engaged in helping to welcome immigrant groups into this country. In fact, many years ago, our congregation has been established for 160 years. So in Minneapolis, we've seen many immigrant groups come in the life of the congregation. So it is appropriate that we're here in Norway House because our church helped welcome the Scandinavian immigrants when they arrived in this country and established a school for them. And we have this concern for our neighborhood, that we understand who is living with us in our neighborhood and what are their concerns and what concerns in other parts of the world are affecting their lives. So this is important for us, and I'm glad to be here to help with this. So today, our panelists, you have their bios with you in the program. We're very pleased that we have Amy Berquist here, staff attorney at the International Justice for the Advocates for Human Rights. We also have Robin Phillips. Robin Phillips is here, Executive Director for the Advocates for Human Rights. We have Ezekiel Gavisa, Doctor of History from Michigan State University, Professor of History at Kettering University. And we have Gehring here, Executive Director, the Center for Victims of Torture. And we have Negesa Orodube and Oromo with us. Please welcome the panelists. So now we will hear from each of them. We'll take a little bit more time than we thought we might have to begin with, so we're glad we have a little bit of spaciousness of time. We have each 10 or 15 minutes for each of them to speak. And then after that, we'll have questions and answers. And at the very end, we will share ideas of ways you can be involved to help.
Welcome everyone, and it's really great to be here and see all of you here eager to learn more about the Oromo community and how you can get involved. And before I begin, I want to thank all of the organizers of this event, but in particular Kathleen Seastad. Kathleen, give everyone a wave. She's really driving force and energy behind this event, along with the United Oromo Voices group. And for those of you who are members of the United Oromo Voices group, can you raise your hand so we can see who you are as well? I see Samuel in the back. Great. So those are also organizers of this event as well, and I hope you'll have a chance to get to know them better too. I also want to welcome Professor Ezekiel Gibby, so it's really an honor to be here with you and have your perspective on things. It's really great that you were willing to come here to Minnesota to speak with us. So I'm just going to give you a little bit of an overview of the human rights situation in Ethiopia and talk a little bit about ways that all of you can get involved to help improve the human rights situation in Ethiopia. So first, just a little bit of history, and for those of you who are already familiar with this, I apologize if it's a little bit of repetition, but I think it's always good to make sure we all have some similar background. Ethiopia is in the eastern part of Africa, and for all of you trivia buffs, it's a landlocked country, and it's one of the only countries in Africa not to be colonized by Europeans. So 2 important trivia points there. It has a population of roughly 95 million people, so it's one of the more populous countries in Africa. And it geographically is divided up into 9 regional states, one of which is Oromia. And that's where the most, but not all, of the Oromo people live in Ethiopia. The official language of Ethiopia is Amharic. And Ethiopia, as perhaps is suggested by having these different regional states, it is can be divided up in terms of religion and also in terms of ethnicity. Approximately 43 or 44% of Ethiopians are Ethiopian Orthodox Christian, then another 15 or 16% are Protestant Christian, approximately 34% of Ethiopians are Muslim, and another 2 or 3% follow traditional religions. There are approximately 80 different ethnic groups in Ethiopia, and of all of those ethnic groups, the largest, but not the majority, the largest ethnic group is the Oromo. And they make up approximately 35 to 40% of the population of Ethiopia. The Oromo people they come from in terms of their language that they speak, it's a Cushitic language. It's a language that has some similarities with Somali, about 30% overlap, but it's distinct. And being a resident of Minneapolis, I